And right here on the ground is an old Jeffrey the Giraffe shopping cart sign.
My name is Ben Lawrence. I'm gonna rock you at least once a week. My name is Ben Lawrence. Let's party.
Right now we are at what is now an abandoned Toys R Us store. A week ago from the recording of this video on June 29th, 2018, every single Toys R Us store in the United States of America closed forever. It's honestly kind of sad to think that kids today will never get to experience Toys R Us. So my hopes for this video is to document the remnants of Toys R Us 1 week after they all close forever. So come along and join me as we go walk around this Toys R Us location and go check out the last remaining remnants of Toys R Us before it is all completely gone away. This empty wasteland used to be filled with people heading into the store right there to go and buy toys. Now all that's left is some overgrown grass, as well as these store closing signs that are still left over from when this place was actually open. A week after closing, and the Toys R Us carriage return is still here. Check this out. You would have put your cart right in there, and over here, look at this. I just noticed this, but is this an actual Toys R Us cart still left out here? This could potentially be, oh no, it just kind of looks like a regular old cart. Oh no, it is! It is, we got a Toys R Us cart right here. I'm actually really excited because I did not expect this to be here. But right there is an old Toys R Us carriage. You would have put your stuff right in here, and maybe a small child could have sat right in here, or you could have put your purse or something. But I cannot believe that there's actually an old Toys R Us cart just sitting out here in the old carriage return area. I honestly didn't expect to find anything, especially the carriage return sign and an actual carriage. I honestly thought they would have got rid of all that stuff by now, but it's still out here at this old Toys R Us. This might be the last time I ever see an actual Toys R Us store. I know that they're still in operation in Canada, Europe, and Asia, but honestly, I don't think I'll be in any of those countries anytime soon, so this behind me might be the last time I see a Toys R Us store. You would have walked right up here to go in and go buy some toys. The old school entrance sign right there with the original Toys R Us font. And I love this. It's a sign from Jeffrey saying that this Toys R Us is permanently closed after 70 years. And it's got a sad picture of Jeffrey crying. That's hitting me right in the feels right there. And check this out, right there on the door is an old Jeffrey the Giraffe warning us that there is an electronic alarm system right here. So I'm gonna back away real slowly in case that alarm system is still armed. Coming out here is definitely hitting home pretty hard, because this is actually the Toys R Us where I went as a kid just about once a week. I would have come through these doors begging my mom to get me the latest Star Wars action figure, the new Buzz Lightyear with the super rocket on his wrist, my 95th version of He-Man in the battle armor. I didn't care what it was, I just loved walking around here and checking out all the cool toys at Toys R Us. So coming and seeing the Toys R Us that I visited as a child closed for good is really hitting me right in the feels. But even inside right there, there's some old school Toys R Us carts right there. The one in the middle has the old logo, and the two next to it have the newer style logo. And some of them even have price tags on them because they were selling these for about 35 bucks a pop. Unfortunately, I was not able to purchase one of the $35 Toys R Us carts. But if anyone out there has the inside hookup with the Toys R Us goodies, let me know. Hook your boy up. If you look real closely right there, those are some of those price tags I was mentioning a second ago. If we press the camera against the glass and try to zoom in, you can get a last little peek at Toys R Us right there. I don't know how well you can see it with the glare. I have my camera lens pressed up against the glass, but right where those weird like lines and stuff are, there used to be a big mural of Jeffrey the Giraffe and all of his friends, but it has since been ripped down. I'm sure one of the employees brought that home as a souvenir. Here's another sort of peek inside the store. If we zoom in, we can get a little bit better of a view of some of the old registers and where they would have had the movies right there in front of us. And if you look to the left, you can sort of make out the restroom sign. Again, I apologize for the glare, but I cannot control where the sun is. Right here is the exit in that classic Toys R Us font right there. And below the exit door is a Toys R Us trash can. Let's take a look inside, just for curiosity. Is there anything in there? Any toys? No toys in the Toys R Us trash can. Let's go take a trip around the back side of the building, because who knows what kind of treasures could be hiding behind the building. Maybe there's a big dumpster chock full of Toys R Us goodies. Now, I haven't found any dumpsters full of Toys R Us goodies, but I did find this. A classic Toys R Us sign, all beaten and smashed up, rotting and decaying here on the side of the building. And I guess it looks like this because no one really goes back here. It is sad to see the state of this old Toys R Us sign. And right under the old classic Toys R Us sign is a sign for the customer pickup. And honestly, I don't even know if this area was ever used because I never saw anyone back here. And as you can see, it kind of just looks like a junk pile right here. There's just like trash. And look at this. These are old parts of the shelves and stuff. The toys would have hung on those little racks right there. Let's investigate some of this trash over here. Maybe we'll find some good Toys R Us things. I don't know what this is, but let's flip it over. Oh, yo! That's part of the old sign! That yellow piece right there would have been up on the R of the Toys R Us logo. Just to better explain what I was talking about, see those quotation marks right up there? Well, look, there's one missing, and it's right here. I would try to line it up, but I really can't. But that is one of the missing quotation marks from that Toys R Us sign right there. Anyways, as I was saying, if this was a customer pickup area, which it is labeled as, the customers would have come right here and pressed the button and then pushed that to open the doors to get whatever they would have ordered online or maybe had on layaway. If we continue along the back side of the building, we actually get a great view of an old school original style Toys R Us sign right there. The sun is beaming off the R, but you can pretty much make out that is an old school Toys R Us sign. Now, a few years ago, they changed over to the newer logo, which you see on all Toys R Us stores. So you don't really see this old signage, but this really brings back some memories of my childhood. Walking right under those letters into the store, going to buy some old school Star Wars action figures, some He-Man stuff. That really brings back some memories right there. It is weird how an old sign like that can just bring back memories from your childhood. And it's also weird to think that kids nowadays will not get to go into a Toys R Us store. And the more I think about it, kids nowadays, they don't even really play with toys. Most kids want to play on their PlayStation all day, play some Fortnite. How many kids nowadays play with action figures? If you were a kid, do you still play with action figures or do you prefer video games? Leave a comment down below. I know as a kid, I had all of the Star Wars action figures and I could play for hours with Star Wars action figures. But nowadays, when I go into the stores, I pretty much see Star Wars figures sitting there rotting on the shelves, which kind of makes me sad and really makes me wonder if kids still have the same imagination that they did back in the day. I guess they don't have the imagination, otherwise Toys R Us would still be in business. And that's another thing. You know, Toys R Us was a great store. They had a lot of toys, but Walmart and Target had the same stuff at better prices. And that was one of my main complaints with Toys R Us. I love Toys R Us, don't get me wrong. But for a toy store, they should have the newest, hottest, and the cheapest toys on the market. But their stuff was a good $5, maybe $10 more expensive than every other store. And they pretty much stocked all the same stuff that every other store puts on their shelves. So honestly, I think that's what killed Toys R Us, is the fact that their prices were a bit too high and they had all the same stuff you could get other places for a lot less money. Anyways, with all that aside, let's check out this weird little area right here, which I've never noticed at a Toys R Us, is an underground secret passage. Maybe this was like how the employees would get in down here. I have absolutely no idea what this door was used for. It's very echoey back here, and there's some dirty socks on the ground right there. But there's this creepy blue door right here, and I don't know what this was for. Now, if you're a Toys R Us employee, let me know, did Toys R Us stores have a basement? Because I never knew that, and as you can see, I'm below the ground. The ground is up here, and I'm down under the ground. by this weird blue door, and I don't know what this door is used for. But let's go back up the stairs and continue our exploration of this old abandoned Toys R Us. There really isn't too much to see on this side of the building other than these two blue doors right here, which I'm guessing would have been employee entrances to Toys R Us. Check this out right here. The gutter has been ripped off. As you can see right there, the gutter has fallen down and almost created this little divot in the ground right here. And the same thing has happened over here. The gutter has fallen off the building. Let's take a little peek inside the Toys R Us gutter. That's some exclusive content right there that you don't see anywhere on YouTube, inside a Toys R Us drainage system. And my guess is that this door right here would have been some kind of fire exit, because it doesn't have a handle right there, so you probably would have only come out because you really couldn't go in unless you, like, I don't know, rip down the door or something. Coming back around to the front side of the building, there is a whole pile of broken up carriage return areas right here. I wonder if they're being sold or being shipped off. And also I noticed this, a little Ben 10 package right there. The amount of times I was called Ben 10 back in school was unbelievable. But I find it quite interesting that this carriage return has been dismantled and piled up here in the parking lot. This older, broken down carriage return still remains here in the parking lot. And right here on the ground is an old Jeffrey the Giraffe shopping cart sign, if we look at that right there. And in the modern Toys R Us era, you really didn't see Jeffrey too often, so to see him on this old shopping cart sign is really, really cool. And check out this old rickety shopping cart return. Thing looks like it could fall down at any second. One area we have not explored yet is the dumpster area, and I was kind of saving that to the end of the video because there's a lot of trash over here, and I'm hoping that we find some kind of good treasure over here. As you can see, walking up to the dumpster area and the loading dock, there is a lot of trash left out here at Toys R Us. Some kind of plastic piece right here, probably to a toy, as well as this, which pretty much tells you that all the fixtures are for sale. And then this composition notebook that belonged to John B. Let's see if there's any. Oh, these are all old, like, notes and everything from 2001. These are old, man. Oh, that is so cool. Look at this. These are all kind of like assembly notes for putting together like bicycles and stuff. That's what all these are for right here. Oh my God, that is a really cool find right there. Look at all this stuff was like what they were saying they were building for customers or putting out on the floor, like to try to sell to the customers. Also right here is a case to a video game. They would have put the game inside this, and it even still has that classic R-Zone sticker right there, and that was what they called their like gaming section of the store. Now there is a lot of trash still out here, as well as a giant rat trap right there, and some ice melt. But over here is some Lego pieces and just remnants of old toys forgotten out here in the garbage. Some more little toy parts, as well as just some trash and junk. One thing that's interesting is this sign right here. It advertises all kinds of special events that would have happened here at Toys R Us. And I noticed this weird little toy right here. Looks like it went to a race car or something. You would have like pulled that to activate the race car. That's my guess, just a random little toy right there. Now, in case no one documented this is what the markdown ticket price thing looked like. So when everything was on sale at Toys R Us, this was taped to the toys, so you knew what the discount price was. Now this is gonna be a tight squeeze, and there is a warning not to go over here, but I think I saw something pretty cool back there. I'm claustrophobic, and I'm always afraid that like things like that dumpster are going to compact and kill me. But I did find something pretty cool over here. It's the old guest services sign from Toys R Us. Right there, look it. It's the old foam sign that would have hung inside the store. Someone has just kicked it. I guess they really don't like guest services, so they have kicked it in and thrown it back here in the trash. Now, because this is one of the dumpsters that is like pretty much a trash compactor, I am not able to get inside the dumpster from the outside of the store. So unfortunately, we can't do any dumpster diving today. But who knows, maybe in the future they will fully clear out this Toys R Us store and put one of those giant dumpsters. So we might come back here for a little dumpster diving exploration. Let's just take one last look at the front before we end this video. Just take a second to enjoy this view. Take in Toys R Us and all of its rainbow tile glory and its big sign with the star near the R. I'm definitely gonna miss this place. Thank you so much for joining me as we went and checked out the remnants of Toys R Us. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to check out benlawrence.spreadshirt.com in the links down below to get yourself a t-shirt just like this one. And while you're at it, click the subscribe button. You can stay tuned and join us for future adventures at cool places all over New England.
I don't wanna grow up. I'm Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Right now, we are at an old, now abandoned and closed forever. What did I even want to say right there? Like, what was I even going for? Right now, we are at what is now an abandoned Toys R Us. What was last week? It's honestly kind of sad to think that kids today will never get to experience Toys R Us again. So my hopes for this video are to document the remnants of Toys R Us 1 week after Toys R Us closed. That made no sense. It's funny how even in the empty parking lot, there's still a toy left over. An old paddle ball right there. A week later and the carriage return is still out here at Toys R Us. Says Toys R Us right there. This might be the last time I ever see a real Toys R Us. I know they're still in operation in Canada, Europe, and Asia. But honestly, how often do you ever see me in any country other than the United States? That was really, really stupid. And as you can see here on the door, they have left a notice saying that it's permanently closed and thanking us all for a great 70 years. It's absolutely insane that Toys R Us is now closed. Also right here, whoop, I just stepped on something. Now in case no one documented this, this is what the markdown price ticket things looked like. Here's a real relic of the past over by the carriage return. A fidget spinner for $7. Here is one of the surviving Toys R Us trash cans. Let's stick the camera in there and see if we can see anything. No toys in there, but it looks like a Wendy's trash bag. Just knowing that I will never walk through those doors again. I mean, maybe I will in the future if it turns into another store that I have interest in, but knowing that I will never walk through those doors again to go into a Toys R Us establishment is definitely a weird feeling. Thank you so much for joining me as we went and checked out this abandoned Thank you so much for joining me as we went and checked out this fucking shit. I'm sweating my ass off after walking around out there. All right, ready? Thank you so much for joining me as we went and checked out this isn't the last remaining Toys R Us. This was kind of too cool not to include in this video. It's like a Toys R Us sign to the entrance of the plaza. The actual Toys R Us is right over there, but there's actually a sign greeting you to Toys R Us, but I don't think it's going to be greeting anyone anytime soon, since all the Toys R Us stores have closed forever. And yeah, that clip was really shaky because I am out of breath and I am just sweating. After walking around the building, it is like 1,000 degrees out today. Anyways, enough of my complaining. Thank you for sticking all the way to the end of this video. Check out some of the links that are popping all the way around my face right now. They lead to some pretty cool stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next adventure. Wah!